This mysterious virus can generate electricity when exposed to heat. The virus, called the M13 bacteriophage, has a unique shape and consists of thousands of copies of a protein. These proteins have positive charges on the inside and negative charges on the outside, which balance each other out. When researchers applied pressure to the virus, the proteins changed their shape and generated electricity. It's like squeezing something and getting some electricity out of it. Next, the researchers modified the virus's genetic code and exposed it to heat. This caused the proteins to unfold and melt, which created an imbalance of charges and generated electricity. To make the virus even better at producing electricity, they added a specific type of protein that caused the electrical effects to be much stronger. The virus could be used to detect harmful chemicals in the air. By heating the virus and looking at the changes in electricity, researchers could tell if there were any dangerous substances present. Even though the amount of electricity produced by the virus is currently small, the researchers believe they can make more of the viruses to increase their power. Since viruses can multiply very fast, scientists can potentially make a lot of them to create more electricity. Imagine tiny medical devices, such as brain implants or heart pacemakers, that could someday be powered by electricity generated by harmless viruses. Scientists have observed a virus attaching itself to another virus for the first time. Using a transmission electron microscope, researchers captured a satellite virus, in purple, attaching to the neck of a helper virus, in blue. Both viruses in the study are bacteriophages, meaning they infect bacteria. The smaller satellite virus requires a helper virus to replicate its DNA inside host cells, as it lacks the necessary mechanisms to do so independently. The satellite virus was seen attached to the helper virus, at the point where the latter's outer shell connects to its tail. The discovery was made while examining environmental samples containing bacteriophage satellites that infect Streptomyces bacteria. The researchers initially believed the samples were contaminated due to the presence of large DNA sequences from known bacteriophages and smaller, unidentifiable sequences. Upon closer examination, the team found that these were helper and satellite bacteriophages, with about 80% of the helper phages having a satellite attached to their necks. Some helper phages even showed bite marks, indicating past interactions with satellites. Genetic analysis of these bacteriophages revealed that satellites lacked essential genes for replicating within bacterial cells, further proving their dependence on helper viruses. The study suggests that satellite viruses attach to their helpers as a survival strategy. This attachment ensures that the satellite enters the host cell alongside its helper. Scientists discovered a potential link between viral infections and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Analyzing 500,000 medical records, researchers identified 22 connections between viral infections and brain conditions. It was discovered that 80% of these viruses could cross the blood-brain barrier, potentially affecting brain health. Viral encephalitis increased the risk of Alzheimer's by 31 times. Pneumonia after flu raised vulnerability to various conditions, including Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, and ALS. Specific viral infections like intestinal infections, meningitis, and varicella-zoster virus were linked to these neurodegenerative diseases. The impact of these infections on the brain could persist for up to 15 years. Vaccines are available for some of these viruses, such as influenza, shingles, and pneumonia. Though they might not prevent all cases, vaccines can reduce hospitalization rates, suggesting a potential role in mitigating the risk of neurodegenerative diseases. In a separate study involving over 10 million people, the Epstein-Barr virus was linked to a 32-fold increased risk of multiple sclerosis. While this observational study does not establish causation, it adds to the existing evidence supporting the involvement of viruses in Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease.